fake war crimes. This is pure anti-Semitism. The court established to prevent atrocities like the Nazi Holocaust against the Jewish people is now targeting the one state of the Jewish people.
Let's bring in Dalia Fahmy, who is an associate professor of political science at Long Island University. She joins us from Princeton in New Jersey. Dalia, good to have you on the program with us. First off, can you explain to us why the U.S. objects to this? And do you think that they'll go so far as to take any action?
Well, it's quite complicated for the United States because what this court ruling today is really just all about is, does the ICC in The Hague actually have jurisdiction? And if it does, which was with the finding today, that they can actually go and investigate. It's not clear, for example, whether the Israeli government will allow them to enter because these are Israeli-controlled territories. But for the United States to stand in opposition is because also, if you just recall from this past July of 2020, President Trump, in coordination with Israel, was talking about levying sanctions against individuals or governments involved in any ICC investigation against the United States in crimes in Afghanistan. So the United States is using this possibly as a way to look into the future of, if it stands and lets this happen to Israel, what does it mean for the U.S. ICC court investigation in terms of Afghanistan?
Dalia, the Palestinian Authority is happy about this decision, but what could this likely mean for Hamas if it's ultimately convicted of war crimes and senior officials are named in the verdict?
That's right. So it's not just the IDF and the Israeli military, it's really also Hamas as well. Recalling the last election that has happened in the Palestinian territories was in 2006, which Hamas won. Since then, there's been not just a great divide, separation of powers, if you will, but also a lot of human rights violations on both sides. And for Hamas to be named out by this finding today, and since 2019, means that the Palestinian Authority can reassert its foothold politically on the Gaza Strip, which has not been able to since 2006.
You said earlier that it's not clear if Netanyahu would try to block ICC officials from entering the Palestinian territories, but what could be the likely outcome if that does in fact happen?
Well, you know, the ICC is really meant to serve as a last resort when countries can't use their own judicial systems, or their own judicial systems are unwilling to investigate and prosecute war crimes. For him to block this will continue to set a precedent that other countries, once countries take them. And here you have, for the first time, the Palestinian people allowed to take Israel to the ICC and for an investigation, that if they block this, it's going to set precedents for other countries and other peoples to not have justice in the only court that's as a last resort, which is the ICC.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Dalia Fahmy, thank you.